Hey, this is Munson from Munson Music in Newberry, South Carolina. Here's a really quick how-to video on how to play an oldie but goodie called Last Kiss. It starts out with a G major chord, which you may know a G major chord. You take your first finger, you put it on the A string on the second fret. Second finger goes to the low E on the third fret. Third finger goes to the high E on the third fret. That's a G major chord. It sounds very, very happy. And then our second chord is E minor. If you leave your first finger where it is in a G chord, you can take the second finger and just put them on the D string on the second fret. That's an E minor chord. It's very sad. Might make you cry, like me. Alright, but then you go to the C chord. So you can leave the second finger where it is. First finger is going to the B on the first fret. Third finger is going to the A string on the third fret. And then that's a C major chord. And with the C, you may want to try strumming just the A string to the high E to get just a clearer sound out of the chord. And then our last chord for Last Kiss is D major. And for D major, you take your first finger and you put it on the G on the second fret. You take your second finger and you put it on the high E on the second fret. And then we're going to take the third finger and put it on the B string on the third fret. And with the D, you want to try and play just the D string to the high E. So it's kind of a 4-string chord. At least you'll get the clear sound out of it. If you miss and hit the A, it's still technically part of the chord, but try and avoid the low E string at all costs on the D chord. So one way that you could practice this song, Last Kiss, is to practice just a down on each chord just to get used to that chord flow. So you could play just the G major with a down. Then you could play the E minor with just a down. You could play the C major with just a down. You could play the D major with just a down. That's a technique I call blocking, and it can just be a good idea, like just to concentrate on just the left-hand chord changes. And you want to try and get all your fingers down on the strings at about the same time, but you can use those fingers that don't change, like the first finger between the G and the E minor chord, and the second finger between the E minor and the C chord, to kind of make that a little bit easier of a change. And I call those guide fingers. So you have a guide finger 1 from G to E minor, you have a guide finger 2 from the E minor to the C. So one way to play the song would just to be doing big downs. So you'd have O, G, E minor, C, D, G, E minor, C, D. And then there are a couple breaks like between the verse and the choruses. So at the end of every verse and every chorus in this particular song, you do a big down, and then the snare drum player plays dot 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 dot. Now I like stealing licks, and so as a stealer of licks, I like stealing that snare part and doing it as a tap on the guitar. So we have a G and then tap 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 tap. So that's one way that you could play through the whole tune. You could do the chorus part with the blocking. If you're a complete beginner, that's a really good idea. And then you can kind of add in the taps. So that would be an easy way to do that song all the way through. However, the actual guitar part kind of works around a 4/4 time signature. And being a 4/4 time signature, that means that you would tap your foot 4 times for each chord. So one way to play it is you could even do 4 downs on each chord. That would be really, really easy, but just to get your right hand, E minor, down, 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 kind of working a little bit. C, down, 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 D, down, down, down. Now, if you're me, that doesn't sound quite as interesting though, as a full-blown strum pattern that has a little bit more variation. And my favorite 4/4 strum pattern is something I call the down, down, up, up, down, up. And it's all quarter notes, which are like where we're doing the downs, and it uses some eighth notes where you do down ups. So if this is new to you, you may want to take the G even and just try doing like down ups by themselves to get used to that. And the strum pattern also uses just a solo up by itself without the downstroke. But for the most part with the strum pattern, your right hand is going to be going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up through the entire song. So your right hand becomes kind of your metronome, or your clicker, right? So the whole strum pattern, my favorite one, is my favorite 4/4 strum pattern. You play down, down, up, and then up, down, up. So you got down, down, up, down, up. Now to practice just that one strum pattern, what you could do is you could even take the open strings, if you want to just take the left hand out of it and just vamp on the strum pattern. I think hand isolation is a great idea. So you could take the right hand and just go down, down, up, down, up, without the left hand at all, which can be very useful. So I'm going to do that for just a minute, just so you might follow along and kind of get the flow of what you're trying to do with your right hand through almost the entire song. So you got down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. Now what you end up doing in the long run is you'll end up doing that strum pattern one time on each of these 4 chords. So I know you may have to practice some of this if you're just starting out, but I'm going to just play through the song and sing the chords in the strum pattern, because that may give you an idea of what you're shooting for in the long run. You can kind of rewind, I guess, the video and check out the other part until you really got that down, and then this will be the full-blown Last Kiss strum pattern deal, and for copyright reasons I will not be singing the words. So here we go. Down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, P, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, 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 C, down, 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 D, down, 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 and the break. Tap, 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 tap. And then first verse. Oh, G, down, down, up, E minor, down, down, up, C, down, down, P, down, 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 G, down, 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 E minor, down, down, C, down, 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 P, down, 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 G, down, 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 E minor, down, down, C, down, down, P, down, down, G, down, down, E minor, down, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, then we got break. G, tap, 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 and then we got the chorus. Oh, G, down, down, E minor, down, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, E minor, down, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, and you got the break. G, tap, 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 tap. Then we got a second verse. Oh, G, down, down, E minor, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, E minor, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, E minor, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, E minor, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, E minor, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, you get the break. Tap, 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 and then we got a chorus. Oh, G, down, E minor, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, E minor, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, and we get a break. And then we kind of go into the outro, which is using ahs. So we got G, down, down, E minor, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, E minor, down, C, down, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, E minor, down, C, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, E minor, down, C, down, down, D, down, down. You got a big G. Something like that. And there are other ways that you can make this song a little bit more interesting if you want to, as far as patterns go as well. One way you can make it a little bit more interesting is, instead of doing the whole down on the first chord, or all the chords, you could do just the bass note instead. This is what I call the bass, down, up, down, up. So you could do the low E string on the 3rd fret, and then do the down, up, down, up. And then on the E minor, you can do the low E string, because that's the lowest E you can play on the guitar. On the C, you can play the A string, because that would be where the C note is. And when you go to the D, you can play the open D string, and then do the down, up, down, up. So all of that would kind of sound like this. minor with a low E bass, down, up, down, C with the A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, G with the low E bass, down, down, E, low E for the E minor, down, down, C with the A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, I missed that one, and then we got a big G. So you could try doing it that way too. So that would be one way you could kind of mix it up. But anyway, good luck in your guitar endeavors, and I hope this gets you started. If you're a beginner, this is a good song to try. Thanks.